In the off-season, the world's fastest racers spend a lot of time getting even faster by working directly on their bike setup and suspension performance. Today, we're lucky enough to be tagging along on Suntour's test camp to find out how their team racers are getting prepared for the season ahead. We have been itching to get to a test camp for flipping ages, but more often than not, these things are shrouded in secrecy with prototype parts and all sorts going on. But luckily, this time round, Suntour invited us along to one of their team test camps to kind of see the behind the scenes of what is going on. And more importantly, we're going to kind of be shadowing the NS Bikes UR team just to see what happens. We're here with Fabien Casigné. Correct pronunciation? Oh, yeah. Not bad. Team manager of the NS Bikes UR team, just behind me. Dude, how's it going?
Great, you know, it's great to have the season starting. It's been like for us a fresh start with new riders, so they've been like working out at home in Australia, Slovakia, New Zealand, and now finally all together. So yeah, no, this is great.
Awesome. So when you guys come to a team camp like this, it's not just about the suspension, obviously that's a big part of it, but is it also sort of team building, things like that, getting everyone together ahead of the season?
Yeah, it's, as I said, new people, we just, you know, we need to kind of get to know each other and
that team dynamic.
Exactly. So this is why we are on the road for a month. So we start here and then we do like more team camps and kind of just all together, really getting the habits, getting to know everyone, start to see who we're gonna tease, you know.
Who's gonna be part of the jokes and stuff. And then obviously onto the suspension side of things, you got Suntour here. You're here all week with Suntour?
Yeah, we'll leave on Friday morning because we go to a preparation race on the weekend. But yeah, most of the week.
Dude, all right, Couscous, a pleasure. We'll catch up with you a bit later on. Thanks, man.
Cheers.
Where have Suntour decided to do their training camp then? Well, here in San Romolo, just above San Remo at the northwest of Italy. This place is absolutely steeped in go fast tradition, if you like, everything from cars, motorbikes, and to push bikes. And do you know what? It's not just individuals. Huge teams have come here training in the past too, proving it to be the perfect spot. Guys like Vullios back in the day, the Syndicate, Commensal team, GT, individuals of all varieties have all cut their teeth and improved their bike here. But what kind of tracks have they improved their bikes on? Tracks like this then, wild, rough, and absolutely wide open, top to bottom. And not only that, they've got a great mix of terrain. So there's rocks, there's roots, it's rough, there's braking bumps, you've got chopped out sections like this, there's even different terrains, drops, jump rolls. I mean, there is everything to push a bike and the rider to the absolute limit. Oh, right then. Okay, so George and Kai have just got back after a couple of runs out on the trail, and they're just feeding back to John, the mechanic, just some suspension feedback, what they kind of want. I can hear them talking about various support in the turns. These guys obviously ride fast as hell, so I think they want a bit more support on their suspension, especially on the high-speed compression and the high-speed rebound and stuff as well, because they are pushing suspension to its limit. So this is all part of a team camp, what you can see back there. You've got the mechanics, riders, all sort of going, conversing, trying to find the ultimate setup, and this afternoon hopefully they'll achieve that. Okay then, boys, you are a couple of laps in this morning. How's it going so far?
Good. Yeah, we just did like 2 warm-up laps. Track's pretty hectic and it's cold, so it's like more than one is needed.
I saw you give John, you're giving a fair bit of feedback. Is that for changes to be made?
Yeah. We want to just tune the damper. We're just trying different things from like high-speed compression to rebound to just make it more supple.
Just telling them kind of our feelings on the bike, and then obviously they can help us with what they think would make it better, or you know, change it to what we're kind of looking for in it. So.
Yeah, is that from base settings that you had yesterday? So yesterday you spent the time also getting used to the track. So you had like
we didn't test anything yesterday, just lapping to learn the track.
And then now today really focus on starting to change things.
So what kind of changes have you, like feedback have you given then? What sort of
right now it's to detune the high-speed compression first thing. That'll be the first thing we're doing.
Is that for both of you actually?
Yeah, for both of us, because we both have a kind of similar feeling, I guess. So
just to lighten it up, make it a little bit more supple. It's pretty rough here, so I don't know if it's like going to be the right thing for every other track, but I'd say it's probably going to help everywhere.
Yeah, basically make it softer in the start stroke and then still have the same progressiveness towards the end.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Shock is that?
We'll focus on just, it is both, but we'll focus on just the fork for now. To get that feeling somewhere good, and then we can kind of move to the shock and then get an all-round feeling. And then out with the telemetry later?
Yeah, I think after lunch at some point, yeah. Not that I'll probably be doing it by feel at first, but
will you both
we'll get there. I don't know. I've never actually used it before.
Okay,
neither so I'll be learning as we go.
We'll have to see.
Could be a first for both.
Could be.
Yeah, exactly. It will be, yeah.
We'll catch up later on about that then.
Yeah,
sounds good.
Happy days. I tucked the front there pretty good.
Oh, you're right?
Yeah.
Just getting Tracy's fork ready here. We have just checking bushing play, bushing just the overall suppleness of the fork. So pulling casting off and doing a quite relube, and we'll be doing a cartridge here soon, a development cartridge we're working on, and we'll start from there. So before assembling any fork, I just check bushing alignment and if there's any play and just overall smoothness of the fork. I'm just pulling off the knobs, everything, and we'll be replacing this cartridge with a development cartridge. Just going from our basic damper, putting a new development cartridge in here. So this would be considered like our RC Plus cartridge we've had in development. It's not for production, but we've been using it for the last 2 years for development. It's a really high flowing system, and we've been taking that and trickling it down to some of our products for the last year. So we'll be working on that, and that all the development from the race series with this cartridge has been going very, very well. So could be seeing it in the future.
Okay, we are here with James Shirley. How you doing, bud? Recently signed to riding Suntour forks.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
First camp. What are you looking to get out of it today, mate?
I'm just trying to get comfortable, I guess, with the new bike, new suspension, play around with settings. We're doing some uplift. So far, I've just been lapping the same track. You know, so you learn the lines, you get used to what you're riding, and then you can start to notice the subtle differences more. Sound. And what forks are you on? I see it's the Duralux, the 36s. Yep.
And you've got the new version of the rear.
I do, yeah. Well, I'm new to Suntour, so this is the first shock that I had. But it was funny getting on the first uplift, and the other boys were like, "Oh, you've got the new one." I was like, I don't know what makes me so special.
Thinking some favouritism going on.
Yeah, well, it must be. Yeah.
Is that what it is? New signing. Okay.
Yeah.
At the beginning of these camps, riders will often spend the day familiarising themselves with the track, getting to know it and dial in their lines so that once testing begins, they can focus fully on the suspension. Once this familiarisation process is done, it's down to business and testing starts, trying out different settings and pressures, changing only one thing at a time so as to not overcomplicate things and really narrow down what feels right and works. This was done on the forks first, then attention moves to the rear shock. Then once the front and back ends are dialed in, more runs are done to make sure they're working perfectly in tandem with each other to give the optimal ride. To take this even further, the riders and the team have the option to use telemetry as well, giving them a world of data to look at, all in the hunt for the fastest setup. Right, we've just finished lunch and it is bustling back there. The Scott team are tuning up under the tent, and they're not actually just tuning their suspension, but they're tuning and trying out some different linkages on the bike as well. So RÉMY ABSALON back there has got a different linkage to try and make it more linear or more progressive depending on what they're after. They've also got a different bottom mount as well, which means they can raise or lower the bottom bracket height, and it's actually to do a bit of experimenting at the same time for possibly next year's ransom. So it's really a case that it's not just here to tune up current bikes, but actually look towards the future as well, which is really interesting.
So today is the first day, so we just get used about the bikes, the tracks, and tomorrow I think we're gonna start the testing, and we're gonna ride the new Trier 2. So we're gonna start from the beginning to improve maybe some hydraulic settings inside, and also the new cartridge of the fork, the RC Plus. So we rode it last year, so we used to ride it, and we know where to go, but maybe it's only little improvement because we already quite good and happy with the product, and we have also a new link on our bike. So yeah, it's time we have 1 week to test lots of things, and sometimes during the race we have no time to do all kind of things. So yeah, it's good to do this before the season starts.
So we are riding some slightly different tracks to all the downhill boys and girls. There's some quite good enduro tracks. So we've joined some of the French guys and we're lapping these tracks. We've not really done any laps on these up until now, so they're still a bit blind.
A good first day, just enjoying learning the tracks and decide where we could do the testing. So yeah, it was nice.
Do you think you will change anything on the bike?
For the moment we just ride the trail, change the link on the bike and switch from one Trier to another, but no settings inside for the moment, but we're gonna start tomorrow, yeah. Okay. With a new shock and maybe change some little things.
Shortly after Rémy and the rest of the Enduro guys had finished testing, it was time to head back over to the NS Bikes team to see how George and Kai had been getting on with their suspension setup.
Today was good. The only change that I done was in the fork. Just basically reducing the high-speed compression and just like, you know, freeing up the fork a little bit, making it a bit more supple, a bit more forgiving, and definitely with the fork like on all the just straight rough bits, that made a big difference. So I felt faster then, and also I know where to go. So yeah, we've got a couple more changes to do on the fork with the rebound, then the shock tomorrow, like first off with the fork and then the shock later on tomorrow hopefully. Yeah, we'll see, but if we have time, then we've got another day after that, so yeah, 2 more days should get it all done.
Yeah, we were just focused on the fork mostly today.
Okay.
Didn't really do anything with the shock, so changed the compression tune on the fork a bit, and that got it to quite a good point that I'm happy with.
Nice.
But now the next step that I want to do is change some of the tune in the rebound. But obviously it's getting on a bit late here now, so I'll probably do that in the morning. So yeah, I'm at a point where I'm happy with the compression on the fork, and I want to move on to the rebound. So just yeah, want to get that done, and then get back onto it, because yeah, same thing, you know, you change one thing on a fork and it makes something else feel different. So
for sure,
it's just a forward and back playing until you're happy, really.
Nice. Okay, there we have it then. It's the end of the day at the test camp today. Riders and mechanics are packing up. It's done and dusted. Huge thanks to Suntour for inviting us out to see just all the really cool stuff that does go on behind the scenes. If you'd like to see any more behind the scenes stuff on GMBN Tech, do let us know in the comments down below. But for me, for now, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.